First stop, 100 degrees. And you can hear that water. Amazing. So this is right off of Road G. And definitely plasma discharge or anthropomorphs that are, you know, that we've talked about before there. And then the guy with the big bun on his head, that might be a Tewa person. They had those big buns.
Ah, the Tewa people.
Yeah. And then definitely look at the serpent.
I was like, those are the devil men.
Serpent?
Which they could have been, hey, the Tewa people could have been mimicking devil people. Something that they saw, right? Something with antennas or something that had horns.
And then we've seen this big circular thing at St. Cowie and other places. It's like the multi-headed guy.
Yeah.
It looks like a big
that looks like
plasma.
The one, doesn't it? That looks older than some of them.
It's very dark, patina. Yeah.
See, okay, now I saw that where the Tewa people had the ladies had their hair up in the buns.
Yeah, look at the big fingers on that guy.
Yeah, and notice look what comes out from underneath them.
The 2 feet are connected to that huge, bigger structure. It's weird.
Well, that looks separate from this.
Oh yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
It's still got, it's like his feet go off into like a plasma thing, like a wave. And then if you notice over here, there's something. This is pretty dark right here. It's got the head on the top, and then it comes down.
Let me come around.
And then we've seen this before also. This is like the column, the plasma column, right there.
Yeah.
See that? That's total. That's the total plasma column. And look, see it? It's even older. It's connected to an older one that goes right here, that goes up. And then I've seen this in Utah. You and I have seen this in Utah in Sago Canyon, where it's got this that circle right there with the line straight down it. That's usually towards the top. You got the line that comes down, that in the center, which is like a planet or something. And then this is like the plasma column. This is similar to the Thunderbolts of the Gods. Anthony Peratt has done great papers on it. That's the plasma column right there.
So take a look at this. We have 1, 2, 3 spirals here, and when the sun sets at the solstice, I bet you this is going to be cutting this spiral. So this is a good spot to come do that experiment.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Because it's setting right behind you, Alan.
That's great.
So it's going to cast a shadow from that boulder behind us onto these spirals at different points.
Why did this look so much newer? Why?
That's Pueblo. Maybe they're just passing down the tradition. That's pretty recent.
I doubt it.
Because this pecking here is very old.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's going to be at least
Then there's some
800.
a little newer, but still old.
Was it a reoccurring event and they just added to the old event, Diamond?
Yeah. It's like a worship spot. That's what Alan and I were talking about. These are different types of places where they came to recall the events.
Now, but look at the size, okay? So this is not anatomically correct at all when you look at these dudes. No, I think the Sankawi people were mimicking some of their fashions and designs, as well as just their own creative amazingness.
Yeah, but the buns might have been representing the Peratt instability.
True, absolutely.
Similar to the Dogon passing down that tradition in their dances. They even wear the instability guy on their head.
Now, when you see, now look at this. This right here is similar to that, right? So we've got the same plasma type column right there. But this looks like it's one of the oldest, and it's like a turtle. It's like a turtle. It's almost, yeah, look at that. That's like a turtle, right? Like a sea turtle with its little feet. And then it comes out, and then it's almost like, look at the fingers. You can even see the fingers, and there's fingers within the fingers. Do you see that?
Yeah, fascinating.
Oh, man. And then this is newer. This right here looks newer. And it looks like one of those plasma people where their legs connect to it, and then there's another spot. There's a spiral right there. So the spiral's to the right.
Nice little grinding area here of metates, and you can see the conspiracy archaeologists there pointing out the alien grooves where they were mixing the ormus here so that they could ascend.
That was for their lasers, right? Ormus for their laser chargers.
Potentially. And here's another grinding area. Fantastic. And shade. Where's the corn?
Right here.
Down low?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, nice.
Still not let me take a picture.
Anasazi corn.
Yeah, so this probably stashed back in there.
Yeah. Fantastic. So if I've ever seen a good candidate for solstice markers, it's these as well. These giant archaic different wheels, which almost look like the plasma discharge or what a solar outburst would look like. An even older one there. And then this snake-like pattern, which I've seen hundreds of miles from here in... Again, let's take a look at some of these, some of this work. All archaic. And very... some more modern glyphs here, but lots of... right here, there's lots of damage. You can see that 1946 date showing up, 1910. And lots of damage to the Puebloan type glyphs. Quite unfortunate. But what we see down here is very similar to that procession that we've seen at all over Penitente Canyon. So let's come down there and get a better look at that. Let you just take a look at some of this. Clearly a Peratt instability there. Other familiar patterns we've seen. Pretty nice sun glyph. Is that sun outburst? Is it on fire? And then that column there, Jacob's ladder potentially. And so there we have that similar procession, similar to the procession panel, similar to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 anthropomorphs at Penitente Canyon, and it's very similar here, except that these are like lollipops. So what we have here is a petroglyph inside of a metate. Another metate here.
This one. Right here, look at that.
Yeah. And then these holes, which is where they would, when they were praying or chanting, they would be tapping the stone. This is just like Mesa Prieta.
Yeah.
Same exact site, which is 500 miles away from here.
West? West of here?
West and south.
Yeah.
Same stuff we saw. And look at these are not circular. That is
Spirals.
geometric. There's a geometry to that.
Look at this one.
Like
right
they
here.
saw Saturn, the top of Saturn.
Interesting. Now this one's interesting. Look at this. It looks like a snake connected to the head, but as you said, it was in their spiral there.
Fantastic. And then one more angle here. We have this archaic glyph, very deep. And then this, I hope you can see that. Yeah, so here's another six-sided figure with a deep hole and a line that goes all the way up over.
That spiral one's really interesting right there. The asterisk.
Like the sun, plasma
Yeah.
sun.
Mm-hmm. And those are just right out of Peratt's book. I mean, that's like picture perfect. But you don't see a lot with that, quite like that design. That's pretty intricate, I think.
So now we're in this slot here.
Right there.
And there's glyphs in here. We've seen this before in other slots. Crow Canyon has glyphs like you gotta squeeze in. And how did they do that? Or did these giant boulders move? Because some of them are really archaic and on the ground. Just want to capture that so we can look at it later. That's really nice. And you can see something else around the corner here. So what I'm seeing thousands of years of occupation here.
Out there in the middle?
Yeah. So these are everywhere.
Yeah. I'm getting this thing.
Interesting. Double toroid. Jacob's ladder setup.
I bet you they saw this before it went boom.
Yes. Yeah. It's the Four-Toe Clan. We did locate a little grayware, some pottery.
On the concrete.
Oh yeah, and then this weird thing that looks like concrete up in the middle of nowhere. And then we noted the grayware itself has a concrete-esque nature there. Even the sound of it.
Yeah.
You hear that? So we're back out into the sun, and what we're finding is that there's glyphs everywhere. As far as the eye can see, which takes you all the way into Colorado here. We're right on the Utah-Colorado border. But just glyphs everywhere, and we're about to find some ruins as well.
Skull house.
Skull house. 1883. 1930.
1944.
31.
And then you'll notice the two-legged right above. Look at the size of those feet too.
This guy.
Yep, right there.
And we got a ruin around the corner. Been lots of vandalism here, unfortunately, but we have these nice feet. And this feet, look, has legs.
Yeah, still has that weird. It's out of the toes.
Or his head's on fire. Turkey Clan.
It almost looks like there's stuff in the middle of those circles that they pegged in specifically.
Over here?
Yeah.
Yep. And that triple infinity. Trifinity. Just to catalog the nonsense.
There's 3 dots in this one, and this one's got like the asterisks in it.
Yeah.
There's got to be maybe some significant. Look at this. Has got that's
4 dots.
time.
Yeah.
That's not the same time. This looks like it's at the same time this one happened.
Uh-oh.
Are you looking at the skull house?
Yes, yeah.
I told you. That's cool, right?
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh.
There it is, skull ruin. It actually looks like a chimpanzee skull.
Yeah.
And there's a ruin on top. And there's one down below.
That's wild.
And the wind is whipping, so the shade is great here. And we're sitting right next to another ruin. It's right here, right around the corner, where we can see some of the old mortar holding up the wall. Doesn't look like particularly nice stonework,
No, this wasn't.
but definitely a huge overhang here. It's huge, so God knows how big this structure was. I mean, this is probably the fallen down wall here, where you're standing out there. So we can see that there's clearly a wall there. Again, very poor construction.
So it could be
More recent.
more recent.
Yeah.
Look at how this rock right here was split in half.
Oh yeah.
That's just amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait to go check that out. Much better masonry work here at the skull.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We've got pottery everywhere here. This grayware, more of it, just laying everywhere. Maybe in the tate there. Take a look at this. Definitely being used for something. This super smooth stone out in the middle of nowhere.
I want to go walk everywhere.
Yeah. We're here at Skull House, and it's pretty nice. Quite a good size. One of the bigger houses I've seen. Not up on a cliff, but on the edge of this boulder. And so clearly another room was here. So quite a big house. And some really nice painted sandstone here, picture sandstone. With lysagan banding. Gorgeous environment here. Lots of raw materials from habitation on the ground and pottery. Ooh, just lost my hat. But there's petroglyphs on the backside here, so let's go take a look. More ruins. Probably a complex on this side. And some stories to tell. Oh my goodness. It doesn't get any more textbook than that. That is cray.
This was a big room.
Yep. So this is the back wall of inside of a house.
This was a big room.
Almost got a dinosaur feel to this one.
Yeah.
Like a brontosaur. And maybe what appears to be a lightning bolt. Just fantastic. Fantastic. The top of the skull here is another ruin. Top of this boulder. And that's a little cheat rocks people used to get up there. Nice. So here's a really interesting, probably storage unit or something, but it's made, I've never seen this, it's made with a cob, which is, they've used the desert grass in the mortar, and that's pretty fantastic. That's all around, so this must have been some kind of a waterproof, you can see there the matrix storage facility. What was in here? Anybody's guess. Fantastic, and it's right by, has petroglyphs near it, so it might be some kind of a, who knows what was in there. And then we got the Peratts over here. That's fantastic.
Cowherders or whatever.
So this is going through the slot. Rex has had a catastrophic injury.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
And so
It's a sore injury.
we're taking him out through the slot. Class 3 slot. Just a penny.
Now, my question is, Diamond,
Yeah.
what would it take? These lines, like, what would cause these weird lines?
That's cross bedding from the deposition of this sandstone.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
This is an aeolian. It's either it appears windblown or it could be a shallow marine setting, like sand dunes.
Okay.
So that's just cross bedding the direction of flow of either wind or
That's
water.
The way that it patterns like that.
pretty geology 101. You didn't take rocks for jocks?
Rocks for jocks. That sounds like a gay dance club.
Yeah, so there's ceremonial marks down here maybe, these pock marks.
Yeah.
You see that, Alan? What's going on? Where are the glyphs? That's what I want to know. So we're going left. Yeah?
We're going that way?
Yeah.
I'm just going to go around the road.
Okay. Something should be,
Oh, I sneezed.
something should be going on here.
Anti-COVID.
See that face right there? Mud fossil, you. What do you got?
Fire pit.
Canyon of the Ancients.
Yeah, because they're laying down in there.
I'll go this way. Be my own boss. Another ruin up here. What do you got down there as far as pottery, Alan?
Nothing at this spot.
And here's another storage bin here.
Yeah, I see it.
So this is multiples of them. Here's more wall.
Yeah, right in front of me.
Yep. Wonder what they're storing in the coal measure here. Interesting. Maybe the corn. Maybe they were storing the coal, hiding it. Probably not. Is that my guess? Something else was afoot.
Yeah, I found Al's signature right over here. I knew he was around here somewhere. All right. One heck of a job, though, man.
This is the chief giant chin. High above the highway. G. So we're way at the top, southwest facing. There's a bunch of walls and steps, and then this nice rounded, this appears to be a curved kiva maybe in there. Right here? Yeah. Well, the half moon up there.
Oh,